Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let me go ahead and do my tech check after after my intro video. I will be right back in about 20 seconds or so. Welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. So on tonight's episode, finally, we have decided on the first book club selection, which is by popular vote, Psychic Tarot by Nancy Antenucci and Melanie Howard. I will show... Hold on one second. I was going to do this before the episode started, but I definitely did take a screenshot to make sure that this was all above board. This was your choice for the first, certainly not the last, but the first book club selection. So right here, my hot little hands, hold on, let me change the view so you guys can see it. So, and put down the lower third here. So option 1 was Who Are You in the Tarot? Option 2 was the Unspell book, which was about energy essentials. Option 3 was Psychic Tarot, and option 4 was Magical Tarot by Madame Pamita. 75% of you chose Psychic Tarot as our first selection. We will probably do Magical Tarot next. So I have taken the time, let me go ahead and hide that. I've taken the time to parse out this book, which is around 200 pages or so in length, so that we can do a book club. You do have time to pick up this book over the weekend before we start reading it in earnest. We're going to start February 9th, but I would think that giving you about a month's time to read this is going to be enough. Let me know in the chat if that is not the case, or if I'm overestimating, or overestimating or underestimating. But I'm going to say by this time next month, March 7th, we should be ready to discuss Psychic Tarot. By the way, here's the book right here in my hot little hands. So yeah, that's basically the crux of tonight's episode, is giving you these sections. And we're not going to, we can feel free to discuss what you're reading as you're reading it. But as long as you complete it by March 7th, like, you can skip ahead if you want. If you want to read more than my suggested chapters, by all means. So Katie is here. Hello to Katie. Welcome everybody. And let me do my tech check before. First and foremost, let me make sure I'm broadcasting in the correct places. I'm pretty sure I am, if we're getting hellos in here, but just want to double check as usual. And of course, we're still going to be doing our 3 main pillars of each episode, which is the astro-weather at the top of the episode from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest. We're going to do the mid-episode reading in the middle, where one lucky viewer can win a 3-card reading live on the broadcast with me. And then we're going to do the weekend forecast. And in between all of that, we will talk about the different sections of Psychic Tarot that I'm going to recommend you read each week, for a total of 4 weeks, aka a month's length. So I'm going to give you the dates. I will probably post that as well, just so you have it in written form, so that you have your little cheat sheet guide on which chapters to be reading which week. Yeah, so Psychic Tarot is by Nancy Antenucci and Melanie Howard. Those are the writers of Psychic Tarot. Okay. And once again, let me go ahead and show this on screen. Fran is also here. Who's It by? Nancy Antenucci and Melanie Howard. Tube of You is broadcasting okay. I checked because I didn't see a notification. Sometimes our notifications betray us. If you want to make absolutely sure you're not missing an episode or a live, make sure that you are following, subscribing, click the bell, and click all, notify all. That way you're not missing a moment of the action. All right. Yep, looks good on the Tube of You. Let's also check the Book of Face. I also like to have the Book of Face in the background too, in case there's some unsavory characters lurking about that I need to ban, which has happened in the past. I don't know why, but it does happen on occasion. And hopefully me logging into that won't disrupt service or the live stream here. Okay. Yep, everything's looking good here too. I'm so glad to see that scheduling is working now. Like pre-scheduling the live streams is now working. It didn't used to. There was a couple of months that it was not working. And so I couldn't pre-schedule any lives because while it would populate to the Tube of You, it would populate to the Book of Face. And I have no idea why. You know, technology's fun, right? But it looks like both channels are working correctly, and yeah, very good. Very, very good. All right. So before we get into discussing the different chapters to read by a certain time for Psychic Tarot by Nancy Antenucci and Melanie Howard, I have gone through and marked things off, did my book math. Let's get into the astro-weather from Teresa Reed from her wonderful Astro Biz Digest. Again, we do this every week, and I've been a long time subscriber to the Astro Biz Digest ever since it first came out. Astrology in layman's terms, straight to your email inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I have found it to be incredibly helpful in planning my personal life as well. So that information is right there. Oh, look how cute that is. I could always do full, but kind of like the background. It looks so nice. So if you're wondering where to pick up a copy for yourself, you can go ahead and use the link that is in the chat, thetarolady.com/astrobiz digest, in order to purchase that, if you're liking what you're hearing. All right. So, and it has been a busy week. It's been a busy week. It's been a very productive week. I will say that. So weekly forecast for February 3rd to the 9th. Mars is still retrograde until February 23rd. So avoid fights. Do not start lawsuits. Do not start a new business. Relaunch previous programs. Think before taking action and choose business battles wisely. So there was a lot of stuff happening on Tuesday. And then also, it was Tuesday the 4th. Hold on. Yes, big stuff happening mostly on Tuesday of this week. So let's start with the overall big transits, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So big stuff happens on Tuesday, starting with Venus's move into Aries. This transit favors the boldest, bravest PR. No hiding. The public needs to see the person behind the business. Hello, public. Hello, person behind the business. That's me. Step in front of every camera, pitch the media, and strut your stuff. Above all, don't be boring or ordinary. Blaze every trail you can. The more passion you put into your PR, the better. Venus in Aries is also your best transit for straightforward client care. When dealing with your people, don't play games. Let them know what's up, and you'll avoid the wrong kind of controversy. Candid truth will take you far and erase a past faux pas. Now, a little behind the scenes information. My natal Venus is in Aries. So I'm a triple Aries. My sun sign is in Aries, my Venus is in Aries, and my Mars is in Aries. So I am very comfortable within this energy, like very big, very bold. Not everyone's going to be as comfortable with Venus and Aries. Just saying, but I'm very comfortable with that. So really quick, Fran ordered from a bookstore, Psychic Tarot. Awesome. I can't wait to dive into Psychic Tarot with you guys. I'm very excited. Sophia is also here. Hello to Sophia. We saw you a little bit earlier. Guys, if you, in case you missed it, I did an Instagram live with Melissa Sanova of Card Slingers fame and Kitchen Table Tarot fame, very unexpectedly earlier today, and we were on it for about 2 hours, I think, spilling some tea and reading some cards. That was a complete surprise. I happened to be posting my card of the day and saw that she started a live, and I jumped on. And so we did some free readings for a bunch of people. I think at least 15 people got their cards read, because I had a list. The list is right next to me. I was writing it down and checking it off as we went. So that was a fun little surprise. So it is a reminder to follow me on different social media accounts. You never know when you might be able to get a live free reading with me, or with Melissa for that matter. So it was our pleasure to do that earlier today, because, sometimes when you don't know what to do and the world's on fire, sometimes you just got to pull some cards and have fun with your friends. So thank you to everyone that joined us earlier. Okay. So very happy that my Venus is in Aries. Anyway, so Candid Truth will take you far and erase a faux pas. Also happening this past Tuesday, the 4th, finds Jupiter stationing direct, which is like a green light to expand. The green light to expand is finally turned on. Jupiter is in Gemini, so you've got until June to write like a fiend, create new content, and make your online presence zing. Wit is in, and big thinking is on the rise. This transit is fabulous for short trips, book signings, zippy newsletters, and book proposals. So those are the 2 big transits that are going on this week that happen on Tuesday. We're still within that energy, mostly. And now let's get into the nitty gritty for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday, today, February 7th, is an excellent energy for business. Gemini moon is still going strong, so sharpen your pencils and make headway on writerly goals. Again, My natal moon is in Gemini, so I am a very, very happy camper this week. Venus sextile Pluto at 7:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time casts the perfect PR spell for the weekend. Be sure to get your face out to the public. This aspect is also nifty for networking, creativity, and business intuition as well. So good. Send a newsletter when the moon trines Mercury at 8:11 a.m. The results will be worth your while. Set your clock to 10:57 a.m. when the moon trines the sun, a perfect slot to write loads of content. Another good use of this aspect is a lively live stream. Well, I don't live stream in the mornings. I think I'm a little too groggy for that. You can capture the public's attention with your words now. Healing conversations are possible when the moon sextiles Chiron at 11:59 a.m. If you need to work something out with a peer, client, or team member, here's your chance. The rest of the day is clear. Write your face off. Today, Friday, February 7th, is a power day for Gemini and a weekday for Sagittarius. Everyone good so far? Am I going too fast or too slow? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me take a sip of my ginger ale. Now, I will be away this weekend on a coven retreat, so I might not be answering emails as quickly as usual, or maybe I am, I don't know. But I will be away this weekend. But I'm very curious to see what our astrology is going to be like this weekend. So let's go. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday finds the moon in Cancer. It's a home base. This means the weekend is best for tidying up your home office, spending time with the family, coven family, or getting your self-care on. Mercury sextile Chiron at 2:21 p.m. is hot for gentle conversations. Once again, you have an opportunity to mend fences. Use that wisely. Sunday begins with the Sun-Mercury conjunction at 7:08 a.m., which creates a lovely backdrop for writing, sensitive conversations, and self-expression. If you're in the public eye today, choose words that inspire. Mars trine Saturn at 8:15 a.m. elevates disciplined energy for the following 3 days. Which big projects need your attention? You have the juice to make amazing progress. The moon creates gorgeous angles to that Mars-Saturn trine at 2:48 p.m., which is fabulous for marketing. I will probably be still on the road or just getting home. So I won't be marketing at that time. I'll be traveling at that time. A heartfelt marketing campaign around this time could attract new cash. Ka-ching. Well, maybe I'll do a car talk. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The evening gets testy when the moon squares Chiron at 5:27 p.m. The news cycle could be stressful, making the public less interested in buying anything. Turn off the open sign and call it a day. Both days, Saturday and Sunday, are power days for Cancer and weekdays for Capricorn. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff going down this weekend and this week. So if anyone has any questions about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just let me know. I think we've got the skinny from Tuesday with everything that was happening. Main transits happened on Tuesday. But if your Monday or your Wednesday or your Thursday was a little bit hinky and you wanted to know the astrological reason why, let me know in the chat and I will take a peek for you. And then we will move on to our main topic for tonight's episode, which is sectioning off reading bites of psychic tarot. And it's actually kind of funny. Let's see. Where is this? It's kind of amusing who gets messaged what, because we do have one of our moderators in the chat right now attending. And of course, that's the person that got focused on for spammings. Exactly. I know. I'm like, It just makes me laugh. I saw it in there, and it's just like you handled it so quickly that like I didn't even have a chance to put on my moderator hat, which is so appreciated, Sophia. Um anyway, hilarious. Y'all, I laughed so much earlier today. Um on the live with Melissa. Oh my god, like there was it was snort-tastic. Yeah, exactly. It makes it easy, LOL. Like if you're soliciting please, madam, I feel connected to your energy. Like if you it's like you really picked the you picked the moderator. Oh, all right. Yeah. Go Sophia. Bam bam. Bam bam. All right. Anyone have a weird day on those days that we haven't covered with the Astrobiz Digest? I know Wednesday was a little bit weird. Um, for me, it was great, but for other people, it wasn't so great. Moon sextiles Neptune station void at 10:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, that was a weird timing. Um, let's see what else. Monday as well. Monday was the Aries moon, Mars square Chiron in the evening, cautionary vibe. Look before you leap. Do not act on your wounds. Do not try to create harm for others through hasty words or actions. Definitely true. Wednesday was fantastic for me. I was on a panel of people that are graduates of the Gala Darling method, which is the tapping certification that I went through. I think it was 3 years ago in April. And it was an open house for people that are interested in the program. The program is open for enrollment, and I think it's open for enrollment until Sunday, this Sunday, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I think it's only open for like 1 week or until this many people are enrolled. And so I was always planning on going to the open house, but then I got asked to be on a panel to answer some rapid fire questions about my experience in the certification, and I was always I was happy to oblige because that's like a no-brainer for me. I really do love my tapping certification. I use it all the time, even when I'm not doing like tapping, leading clients through tappings like one-on-one. Like I tap every single day, and I tend to like fall back into my training, even when I'm doing tarot readings at this point. Like having that, especially like the investigation portion and asking the right questions for a more deep understanding, has been incredibly helpful outside of a tapping session. So anyway, Wednesday was very, very good for me. Like it's just like everything was coming out of Millhouse in a good way. So, but I know that not everybody had the best Wednesday as well. I happen to have a good one. All right, I guess we're moving into talking about Psychic Tarot by Nooch, and going through the chapters. And I just want to get feedback from all of you, which is like, will you be doing this? Will you not be doing this? Do you want to just wait and see? Because my intention for doing a book club was to not be stuffy about it. I have been a member of book clubs in the past, and usually they don't work unless there's like everyone participating, because it's just like, okay, it's almost like we need an excuse to like get together for wine and cheese. So some people wouldn't even read the book. They would just like come for the experience, and that's fine too. Like I don't mind either way, but I will be doing this along with you guys. And I have read the book before. But I read it back in 2011 when it first came out. So like that's the last time I read it. So like I'm pretty much starting fresh, because some of this is like a revelation to me, especially when I get to certain parts or pull quotes, where I'm just like, oh, I say that, or like that's my experience as well. So this was very much a book for me that was very, it's close to my heart, because I realized like, oh, I'm not a complete weirdo. Like, oh, this is reflective of my experience. Like, oh, I'm starting to get things outside of the tarot reading space. Like, I must be crazy. And it's just like, no. Like, this is actually a natural progression. Using the tool, using the tool of tarot to access your intuition is just going to enhance your intuition in other areas too, or outside of the reading space. So some of these things that I read in the book, I'm just like, oh, okay, like I'm not a complete and utter weirdo. Like, thank goodness. So moving on from the Astrobiz Digest, Sophia was just like, I can't even remember what I did Wednesday, LOL. And Katie said same. So yeah, it's been a kind of a blur of a week too. Like, things have been going really well, but it's also been like, this week is going too slowly, and then it like, oh, it went really fast. Weird. Anyway, so I see that Stephanie is participating, and it will be her second time to reading Psychic Tarot. Awesome. Katie says, I won't be reading it because I'm a bit packed up with other things that I can't put down right now, but I will be listening to it into other people's opinions and findings. Fair. Absolutely fair. And you can always do this. Like, this is the beauty of the live streams. Like, yes, it is live, and yes, participating live is always more fun, right? But at the same time, there are replays available, and so you can always read along with the replays as well if you're choosing to. And it's just like, I can't pick up Psychic Tarot right now. I'm like, I'm too occupied with other things that I'm reading right now. But when I'm ready to pick it up, I can go ahead and read along with these videos. So Sophia says, my second time as well. Awesome. So I'm very interested on seeing like what I pick up on, and like, do you have to write notes? Like, no, not necessarily. Like, if you want to, if that's like a part of your reading process, or reading for education, or reading for fun, like, by all means, go ahead. But there's not going to be a book report at the end of the month. I'm not trying to be all stingy about it. This is not homework per se. This is more a casual book club. I'm not going to kick you out of shame of not participating, or just coming for the virtual wine and cheese portion of the discussion. I'm just not. So the point of tonight's episode is discussing which portions we'll read each week, and when we'll reconvene for discussion when we've completed the whole book. So I was thinking Friday, March 7th, which is the first Friday in March, will be when we discuss it. Let me know, all of you that are choosing to participate, even if it's your first time reading it or your second time reading it. Let me know if you feel that's enough time for you. If not, we can do the second week in March, or even the third week in March. Like, let me know what you're thinking, because for me, I feel like I'm a pretty fast reader. So I want to be able to give you guys enough time so that you can read it, absorb it, and then discuss it. Now, I have some recommendations for how many chapters to read each week. But again, you do you. And if you want to even go faster and read it all in one sitting, like, by all means, like, I don't mind. If you get caught up and you want to keep reading just one more chapter, like that's totally fine. So I have my notes here. I wrote them down. I hand wrote them down because I brought out my calculator to look around about how many pages this book is. The paperback version, which I think it was only ever out in paperback, I don't think it was ever available in hardcover, is 203 pages, not including the appendices, which would make about 51 pages a week to get through, give or take. Again, the chapters are not going to be spaced out exactly that. So I've looked at all of the chapters. It's about 20 chapters in all. So I would say 5 chapters each week is probably going to get you to reading the whole thing by March 7th. So Hades says, I used to find post-it notes with comments was helpful because I could never find the part I wanted to quote. And when I was talking in a group, just a pointer for others. Yeah, like I've done that to myself too. But sometimes, like, especially with this book, I found like if I did post-it notes, it would just be absolutely covered with post-it notes. It's almost like when you take out a highlighter to highlight the appropriate passages that were really resonant for you, you end up with the entire page being highlighted. Like that's kind of what I do when I'm reading books like this. I'm like, ooh, that's a revelation, and that's a revelation, and that's a revelation too. And it's just like the whole book can't be highlighted. That's not the point. But you do you. So I'm going to read this aloud. So we're going to start on February 9th, which is Sunday, because I'm giving people time to get this book, to procure Psychic Tarot by Nancy Antenucci with Melanie Howard, using your natural psychic abilities to read the cards. Yeah. Katie says, oh, I've had rainbows of post-it notes. Yeah, same. My first book was written on post-it notes, not entirely on post-it notes, but basically in planning writing sections, I would write down which chapters I wanted to work on each day, because contract writing and writing for pleasure, two very different things. And so my publisher had asked me, like, here's basically the structure, here's the chapters, like we want you to write a chapter on this and a chapter on that. And I followed that, but I didn't write it in order because I didn't feel like writing it in order. I'm just like, all right, let me tackle this first. Okay, let me do this. Like, I'm in the mood for this now. Honestly, I think I put off doing the interpretations and the keywords like to last because I didn't want to do it. And I was so stuck in my mind about like, oh, please God, don't anyone like read this book verbatim and be like, oh, I don't see the Hierophant that way. Therefore I'm wrong. Like I never wanted to do that. So I did it in bits and pieces. But the chapter names I would just put on Post-its and be like, oh, okay, I'm working on these 3 chapters today. So yeah. Sophia says, I feel you. My dissertation journals look nuts. like Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny, right? With the conspiracy theory and the lines and the I hear you. I feel you. So this friendly guidebook features a wealth of creative exercises that are compatible with any deck, plus sample readings, spreads, and compelling firsthand accounts from a seasoned reader and teacher to start you on the path to trusting your intuition and reading the cards. And then there's also intuitive exercises as well. And I would say, like, let's do the exercises as well. Like if you come across an exercise, like Do the exercise while you're reading. Sorry, my headphones are like ready to pop out all over the place. Okay. So February 9th, we're going to start February 9th. Sophia says, I also changed ink colors to keep myself engaged, so it looks a little serial killery. Whatever works. You're doing it to keep yourself engaged. There's nothing wrong with that. A new color every few pages. Well, I'm sure that looks very pretty, though. All right, so February 9th, we're going to start, and we're going to start with the Before You Begin pages, plus chapters 1 through 5. So basically, your cheat sheet is going to be 5 chapters a week. That's how it kind of works out to pacing this out to read it over a month's time. So February 9th through the 15th is Before You Begin plus chapters 1 through 5. And again, that's 1 through 5 as in reading through the end of chapter 5, chapter 1 through chapter 5. Okay. February 16th through the 22nd, you'll be reading chapters 6 through 10. February 23rd through March 1st, you'll be reading chapters 10 through 15. And then March 2nd to the 7th is chapters 15 through 20. Again, there are appendices in this book that you can always reference during the reading or outside of the reading space. But we are ending with the final chapter, chapter 20, Traits of a True Reader, which is only a couple of pages in length. It's only like 3 pages. So, and then appendices are the 78 tarot cards, the pictures, the images of the tarot. Appendix B is self-studied guide. Appendix there, and that's it. There's only 2 appendices, and then the bibliography. So to become a great reader, it's important to practice. This guide includes all the exercises throughout the book with a few variations and some additional suggestions, as well as corresponding chapters in this book. After reading it over, commit to completing the exercises within a certain timeline, such as a season or a year and a day. Your timeline will apply to some of the exercises, especially the first 3. Intent makes for receptivity. Explore and enjoy. The first one, of course, is put away all tarot reference and definition books. So we're reading this without the references, really. Now, since we're about halfway through the episode, or more than halfway through the episode, we'll break for the mid-episode reading, but I just wanted people's feedback. Does this sound like an acceptable amount of pages each week and an acceptable amount of time to finish reading Psychic Tarot? Let me know in the chats. And while you're thinking about that, if you would like to be considered for a live tarot reading, comment tarot in the chat. And we will put the timer up here for 30 minutes, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. No takers? If we don't have any takers for the mid-episode reading, I'll pull a couple of cards. Or a couple of cards on the experience of Psychic Tarot and what we're going to get out of reading Psychic Tarot together. Yeah, exactly, Stephanie. Basically a chapter each weekday. That works for me. You know, and some chapters are longer or shorter than others. Like I wanted to say the first section should be chapters 1 through 6. But the 6th chapter is about the minor arcana, I think. So it ran a little bit longer. And it was more like pages 1 through 70 instead of pages 1 through 50. So I found I'm trying to find the natural sections. So Sophia said, I had one today, so I don't want to be greedy. LOL. You did get a reading from me and Melissa today. I understand. I think we all have been read recently. Yeah, I guess so. If anyone's feeling particularly pulled, like just put tarot in. You're all so good at like, oh, I got one, you know, like I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to be it's just like, it's very appreciated. So if you're a new person or a longtime lurker, first time commentator, just drop tarot into the chat. You've got 30 seconds to do so. It's okay. I won't bite. We're relatively kind and generous here. So, and if not, I'll pull a couple of cards about how to make the most out of reading Psychic Tarot over the next month. Well, Stephanie says I need a mood reset if that's possible. Tapping. All right. Your energy is valuable. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Let's take that down. Yes, thank you. We appreciate you, hence respect the generosity we receive. You guys are a rare bunch. You are. All right, so I'm going to pull a couple of cards about Psychic Tarot and how best to get the most out of this read or reread of this book. I would not be surprised if the Page of Cups came up. Because the Page of Cups, it's just like, he's talking to a fish. He's foolish. He's wearing a funny hat. You know, it's... and actually, the Page of Cups came up for a reading that I did for Gala Darling's membership and her app. And then also a tapping session. That's an exclusive. That's an exclusive to the Vortex app. So if you want to get in on that and experience that tarot reading and that tapping session, you have to download the Vortex app. I can show you what the app looks like so that you guys can download it for yourself. But it's pink. Yeah. Sophia says, I think a lot of us are in the industry. LOL. We get it. All right, let's pull a couple more cards. These cards it's not the Page of Cups. Not the Page of Cups, but these cards are not surprising. So we've got the Four of Wands, which to me is about celebration, gatherings. It's a joyous card. You know, like, yeah, we did it. We're doing it together. You know, like that togetherness sentiment, I think is very important. Got the Star coming up reversed. So in order to get the most out of reading or rereading this, I think we just need to be vulnerable. We need to be willing to go deep. Sometimes when I see the Star reversed, it's like it shows kind of a hesitancy to dig deeply. into the emotional reserves, or like a go underneath to the subconscious to see what's driving us. I think we're going to be exploring that a little bit in Psychic Tarot. Yes, Katie. Katie's just like, Katla really dislikes pink. It's so obvious. LOL. Yeah, like pink is her color. Purple's mine. Pink is her color. And I mean, like, I happen to be wearing some of her merch. Hi, bye, Punny. Thank you very much. So, and then finally, what do we need to know about reading Psychic Tarot? King of Swords. So there is a place for the logical, the high-minded, the truth. Sometimes there is an inflexibility when it comes to the King of Swords, but truth can be subjective, and I think there is a place for logic and reason, but there is also a place for the intuitive arts as well. And I think a book like this really well blends the two, because it's a book which is very King of Swordsy, but it is about intuition, which is very not King of Swordsy sometimes. So I think that we need to learn to when to be the King of Swords, and when to be the Star reversed and go a little bit deeper. One more card, I think. Hold on. Yeah, Three of Cups. Three of Cups. Girl gang. Girl gang. The proverbial wine and cheese. So there's your reading about Psychic Tarot. So just so you know, the Vortex app is free. There are parts of it that are not free, that are membership based, but there is a portion of the app that is free, and I believe my tarot and tapping is up on the free portion. So it's like a taste, but it's a pretty damn good taste. It's about 16 minutes in length. I give the reading and then I give the tapping session. It's about letting your freak flag fly and it being the key to unlocking your abundance. So yes, you did hear the magic words wine and cheese. You did. All right. Does that sound good to everybody? Does that please and sparkle? That is the plan. This is the plan for Psychic Tarot. If you guys already own Psychic Tarot and you want to get started, you can get started, but we start officially on Sunday. So this first week, February 9th through the 15th, before you begin to and through chapter 5. So before you begin, through the court cards, the second family. And it's interesting because I usually teach the major arcana first, but this book goes with Tarot Basics as chapter 3. Chapter 4 is the minor arcana, which is the first family, the court cards, which is the second family, and then chapter 6 is the major arcana of the third family. So, interesting. I probably will get started tonight. Mostly because I'm running this here book club, so. All right. I think that's it for tonight's episode. Let's pull the weekend forecast. A reminder as well that we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us on the Two of You or the Book of Face, and replays from the past 5 years are always available for your delectation. Okay, and my leg's starting to fall asleep. Do we have a preference for the weekend forecast? Because we already pulled a few tarot cards for how we're going to experience or get the most out of Psychic Tarot over the next month of reading it. Do we want to do Starseed? Do we want to do Work Your Light? Do we want to do the Roast Iconic? Do we want to do the Nocturna, which is a beautiful, beautiful oracle deck that I just got recently? Let me know in the chat while I try and get the pins and needles out of my leg. And don't say dealer's choice. All right, Katie says the new one. All right, so let's do the Nocturna. Now, earlier I was pulling cards from the Roast Iconic. You guys can go back and watch the replay on IG because we made it available to watch again. But sometimes that Roast Iconic, geez, real mean. So I was doing my alternative interpretations. All right, what do we need to know for this weekend? If I get the Dawn card, I will laugh because that's associated with Bridget, and we're going to be away celebrating in bulk this weekend. Okay. No. Katie said, no roasting, please. So we are getting for the weekend forecast Fennec Fox. Oh, look how sweet. So the Fennec Fox is the Fennec Fox, pioneer and adaptation. The Fennec fox is the smallest of all foxes and is found in the deserts of North Africa. In such a harsh environment, these marvelous creatures have evolved large ears which radiate body heat and keep them cool. Their paws are hairy, which act as snowshoes, and also provides protection against the searing hot sand. Like other desert animals, they are also able to go a long time without water. These interesting adaptations remind us to always be open to change, even under difficult circumstances. Beautiful. All right. Be adaptable to change, even under difficult circumstances. That is your message for this weekend from the Nocturna Oracle. And I'm putting her away. And she's more than likely going to be packed in my bag for this weekend. All of my divination tools. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and participating, and looking forward to reading Psychic Tarot with you guys over the next month. That doesn't mean that every topic of the Friday Night Lives are going to be about Psychic Tarot. We can certainly have a section of the episode if you'd like to discuss a little bit about what you're, the chapters that you're reading that particular week. We can sure do that. But new episodes, I think, for Friday nights until we're ready to discuss Psychic Tarot in full on March 7th. If that's agreeable to everyone, let me know if it's not. And if you need more time, that's totally fine too. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Once again, you know where to find me, tarotbyhilary.com, if you'd like to book a reading with me. Phone, Skype, Zoom, email reading sessions are available. So once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, you have intuition. Don't argue with me about it. I know you have intuition. I firmly believe that everybody has intuition. And let me find our end screen. Why can't I find it? There it is. There it is. There it is. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next Friday, same bad time, same bad channel. Bye.